Google's back in court, but this time it may not be just about search. The DOJ is signaling a bigger shift, antitrust that looks forward, not back. Our Deirdre Bosa has more in today's Tech Check, D, in the story that is sometimes a little difficult to get your arms around.
It is, and that's why this shift is so important to investors as well. And this line from DOJ attorney David Dahlquist, this is critical. He says, this court's remedy should be forward-looking and not ignore what is on the horizon. Now, that tells us that for the first time, the government is no longer just playing catch-up, but going after what is next. And unlike earlier antitrust actions that only really brushed up against Google's AI ambitions, this one could target them head on. The current search case deemed Google's practice of paying Apple and Samsung to be the default search engine deemed that illegal. Now, testimony is being heard that will determine the changes to force Google to remedy that behavior. But even as the court weighs remedies for Google's past behavior, new testimony from yesterday reveals that Google is now paying Samsung again, this time, though, to pre-install its AI app Gemini on new devices. Now, in other words, it's Google trying to secure early dominance in the next interface. Remember that AI assistants and apps, they are designed by nature to entirely bypass traditional search altogether. Now, the timing, too, is damning. This deal began in January, according to that testimony, and that was just months after Google was found to have violated the law for running the same playbook in search. Now, while that case was still being resolved, Google was already laying the groundwork to dominate AI assistants. That did not go unnoticed by the DOJ attorney. Now, for investors, like I said, this is a big shift. AI may no longer be a side casualty of regulatory battles, but the main story. So if the court moves to block or limit that strategy, it could really strike at the heart of Google's new monetization plans, especially as it does really start to confront its innovators' dilemma head on by disrupting legacy interfaces. New data, meanwhile, it suggests that an AI future is already taking shape, and that raises the urgency for Google to really get this transition right. Two recent studies show that Google's AI overviews are hurting click-through rates, especially for non-branded informational queries. That calls into question Google's claim that AI overviews get more clicks than traditional listings. Now, Google's valuation already reflects skepticism around its ability to make the shift and not cannibalize its main business, and it also reflects the increasing regulatory pressure. Now, the latest from the remedies case, guys, that is going to make it even harder for investors to see recent real wins on the AI side, which, guys, we don't talk about enough. There are several that remain underappreciated, especially on the Gemini side. But this introduces sort of a new front as Google continues to really just stake its claim once again after losing the lead in AI.